The Traitor's Howl. Prologue. The Echo of War. In the heart of Europe, a powerful nation, Austria, stood at the edge of war with an old but fierce Asian country, Turkey. Their rivalry had lasted for decades, a battle over borders, resources, and ideology. Austria accused Turkey of being a barbaric nation trying to expand into Europe. Meanwhile, Turkey claimed Austria looked down on them and wanted to control their lands and wealth. Religion, politics, power, and vengeance. These four things fueled the conflict. But amidst the chaos, an impossible story was about to unfold. The story of Bruno and Luna, a prisoner and a free soul. Bruno, a German shepherd, was Austria's most loyal war dog. Trained since birth, his duty was clear: spot the enemy, attack the enemy, kill the enemy. On the other side of the war, Luna, a stray dog, roamed freely in the forests of Turkey. She belonged to no one, no chains, no commands. One night, as Bruno patrolled the Austria-Turkey border, he noticed a shadow near the fence. Luna. She stood there, calm, watching him. Bruno's instincts screamed, "Attack!" But he hesitated, Luna, smirking. "So the great Bruno only fights for humans, or do you think for yourself?" Bruno, growling, "You're the enemy. Leave before I—" Luna, grinning, "Enemy? Tell me, how do you know your country is right and mine is wrong?" Bruno, "My country says your kind is nothing but filth and danger." Luna, laughing, "And your kind? Just brainwashed pets, trained to obey." Bruno should have attacked her, but he didn't. The drumbeats of war, the tension between Austria and Turkey was growing. Austria accused Turkey of secretly stockpiling weapons near the border. Turkey claimed Austria was sending spies to weaken them. Then one night, the final blow came. War was declared. Austria's prime minister addressed the nation. "This is a war for justice. Turkey is threatening our land. We must defend it." Turkey's president stood before his people. "They want to crush our freedom, but we will fight till our last breath." Bruno received orders. He was to lead an assault into Turkey's forests. But for the first time in his life, his heart resisted. Loyalty or love? Bruno and Luna met again, under the shadow of war. Bruno, worried, "My country has decided to attack yours." Luna, laughing bitterly, "That's the problem, Bruno. For you, it's always about your country. For me, it's about the truth. And the truth is, no country is ever truly right. Only people and their greed decide what's right or wrong." Bruno, quietly, "Then what should I do? How can I betray my own people?" Luna, softly, "When innocent lives are slaughtered, when power-hungry men lie to justify war, when soldiers die for the greed of those who sit in golden halls, then loyalty itself becomes betrayal." That night, Bruno made his choice. The war had begun. Austrian forces stormed Turkish lands. Turkish soldiers fought back fiercely. Blood flooded the battlefields. Bruno reached the burning forests of Turkey and saw a nightmare. Luna lay on the ground, wounded, surrounded by Austrian soldiers. Soldier, grinning, "It's just a stray, let's put her down." Bruno, shouting, "Stop." The soldiers turned, startled. Commander, coldly, "She's the enemy, Bruno. We must eliminate her." And that was when Bruno turned on his own kind. He attacked the Austrian soldiers. Bruno, snarling, "You fight for men who send you to die. I fight for something worth saving." That night, Bruno became a traitor. The price of betrayal. Austria immediately declared, "Bruno is the greatest traitor in our history. He must be executed." But Turkey did not trust him either. He was Austria's war dog. How can we believe he's truly on our side? Both nations hunted him down. Luna, weakly, "We have to leave, Bruno. Neither side will ever accept us now." And so, a once loyal soldier and a wild stray vanished into the night, the lost warriors. No one knows what happened to Bruno and Luna. In Austria, children hear a legend. The dog who betrayed his own nation still wanders the forests, a ghost of his own sins. In Turkey, elders whisper, a black shadow and a golden spirit still run along the border, howling for justice. And if you listen closely in the silence of the night, you might hear their echo. Fight for the truth, not for power. Never let chains define you. Thus Bruno, Austria's greatest warrior, became history's greatest traitor. The Traitor's Howl, Part 2. The Hunt for the Betrayers. Prologue. The Shadows of War. The war between Austria and Turkey had reached its peak. Battles raged across the border, villages burned, and bodies lined the blood-soaked fields. But amidst the chaos, one tale spread like wildfire. A war dog has turned against his masters. The legendary Bruno has betrayed his nation. Austria declared him a traitor, a defector who had sided with the enemy. Turkey didn't fully accept him either, believing he might be a spy. Bruno and Luna, once warriors on opposite sides, were now fugitives, running through the wilderness with no home, no allies, only each other. But war doesn't forget, and neither does vengeance, the hunters and the hunted. The Austrian military launched Operation Black Fang, a mission to capture or kill Bruno. They couldn't let the world see that even their most loyal soldier had abandoned them. Leading the hunt was General Klaus Richter, a ruthless man who had personally trained Bruno since he was a pup. He stood in the Austrian war room, staring at the map where Bruno had last been seen. General Klaus coldly, "Find him, and if he resists, kill him." On the Turkish side, things weren't much better. Turkish General Rashid Veli was suspicious. General Rashid, gruffly, "He's an Austrian war dog, a killing machine. What if this is a trap?" Bruno and Luna had no safe place. They ran deep into the forests, their paws bleeding, hunger clawing at their stomachs. One wrong step, and the war would swallow them whole. The ghosts in the forest. Bruno and Luna found shelter in the abandoned ruins of a border village, long destroyed in a past war. The crumbling houses were silent, only the wind howling through broken windows. Luna lay on the cold ground, exhausted. Bruno, still alert, watched the distance, ears twitching. Luna, weakly, "You don't have to protect me, Bruno. You should have left me behind." Bruno, firmly, "And let them kill you? Never." Luna smiled. Even after everything, Bruno was still trying to be a soldier. But then a rustle in the bushes. Bruno tensed. He could smell them. Soldiers. They had been found. "Move!" Bruno growled, grabbing Luna by the scruff and dragging her behind a collapsed wall. A moment later, gunfire shattered the silence. Austrian snipers were here. General Klaus, through a radio. "Bruno, come back. You don't belong with these mongrels." Bruno didn't answer. He and Luna bolted through the ruins, weaving through the debris as bullets struck stone and dust exploded around them. But then, Luna yelped and stumbled. She had been shot. Bruno froze, his heart hammering in his chest. The world blurred. His training screamed, "Leave the weak behind. Save yourself." But his heart answered, "No, not this time." Bruno snarled and turned back. He wouldn't run. He would fight. The blood of betrayal. Bruno attacked like a storm. He lunged at the nearest sniper, his jaws crushing the man's rifle, then knocked him to the ground with brutal force. The soldier screamed as Bruno's teeth found his shoulder. Another soldier raised his gun, but Luna, bleeding, used the last of her strength to slam into his legs, tripping him. Bruno finished the fight. The battlefield fell into silence. The surviving soldiers fled into the woods, too afraid to face the dog that had defied an empire. Bruno turned to Luna. Blood pooled beneath her, her breathing ragged. Bruno, desperate. "Stay awake, Luna." Luna's eyes fluttered. Luna, smiling weakly. "Looks like I saved you too. Now we're even." Bruno picked her up gently and disappeared into the shadows. He would not let her die. But the hunt was far from over. The price of freedom? Days passed. Bruno carried Luna deep into the mountains, far from the war. He found a hidden cave where an old shepherd lived, a man with no loyalty to Austria or Turkey, only to the land. The shepherd nursed Luna's wounds and gave Bruno food. But even in the peaceful valley, Bruno could feel it. War had marked him. It would not let him go. One night, as Luna slept, the old man sat beside Bruno. Shepherd, softly. "You were made to fight, weren't you?" Bruno didn't answer. Shepherd, "You saved her. But what about yourself?" Bruno lowered his head. He didn't know anymore. Did he still belong in this world? The legend of the traitor's howl. Months passed. Austria declared Bruno dead to erase his betrayal from history. Turkey, too, forgot him. After all, he had never truly been theirs. But along the border, whispers remained. Travelers spoke of a golden-furred stray and a black war dog who roamed the mountains, free as the wind. Some said they were ghosts. Others believed they were still watching, waiting, guarding the border from the madness of war. And on stormy nights, when the wind howled through the valleys, some swore they could hear it. A deep, mournful howl, the sound of a traitor, the sound of a warrior, the sound of Bruno, the dog who defied war. Epilogue, the last howl. Bruno never returned to civilization, but in the dead of night, when the stars were hidden behind clouds, an old general once sat alone in his camp, drinking quietly. And for a moment, just a moment, he heard it. A single defiant howl in the distance. General Klaus, whispering, "Still alive, aren't you, old friend?" And then silence.